That's right. I'm in the Machinima basement, and I'm joined by. This is probably the thing I was most hyped for, and I'm glad we're just knocking it out right out of the gates. We've got Glenn and Robert, the two dudes who can speak about Modern Warfare 3 better than anybody on the planet. We've got Adrian off camera over here. She's driving. She's adorable. She never dies. She's a beast. What are we looking at today? I see you queued up Black Tuesday.
Yeah. Black Tuesday is one of our really impactful levels. It takes place in Manhattan. The Russians have taken over it, and you're in there with a Delta Force team. One of the big things was to show some huge cinematic moments, different types of pacing.
Now there's been some gun porn that's gone on since you guys have started showing stuff, as people are like looking for their favorite weapons. Yeah. This specifically, we're about to see something unique you did with the scopes.
Yeah, for sure.
How does that work?
I mean, this is what gets me excited about the game, because to me, it's all about the gameplay. It's all about that gun porn, that gun control, and more importantly, what I love is like when we're designing a game and you get a new feature like this that really impacts how you play the game. So how this works is you'll see when he jumps down here, you'll have a dual scope system. So basically, you'll have a close to medium range optic up top. So your EOTech, your red dot, and then you can either flip that to the side so that you can bring up, your medium to long range optic. So, your ACOG or your magnifying scope, whatever you choose. So it really allows you to, switch up your gameplay on the fly. Right now, you do it just flick of the button, left on the D-pad, flips it down, left on the D-pad, flaps it back up.
Running with M4. One of my favorites.
Yeah.
You can't go wrong with that thing. It's a murder machine. You guys, the set pieces in these games have just gone from, at this point, you're kind of crapping on Michael Bay even. I bet he watches your shootouts and maybe cries a little.
We hope so.
Yeah.
You guys turned it up. Is this a good example of what we can look forward to, like, campaign length, or have we escalated up to this?
No, I mean, you're going to be seeing stuff like this. I mean, you have those big set piece moments, but now that we're in the major cities, you're seeing them in like New York. You're seeing a sub come up in the New York harbor. You're seeing all this crazy stuff. We're going to London. We're going to parts of the Himalayas, Russia, parts of Africa. We're hitting major hotspots all around the world. I mean, I know you guys have seen our trailer of like just hot spots all around the place. Major cities, major locations, and you're seeing this huge ass moments everywhere.
And those moments are, they're going to take place in those places anyway. Where you're going to have the buildings falling. In other places, you're going to have rock slides and landslides and huge forest fires and things like that. So maybe we've amped it up, but we're just kind of we're doing what would take place in those levels.
Yeah, and Manhattan's just the beginning. This takes place early. From a story standpoint, this picks up hours after the end of Modern Warfare 2. DC's burning, the war has escalated up the eastern seaboard of the United States. Traditional military is on the fritz. It requires Delta to be boots on the ground, really pushing the Russians out. So this is just the beginning.
Group, yeah. I mean, later on, we've got, thousands of troops and things like that. So,
really?
Yeah, it gets bigger.
I don't think any of our viewers, and we've got a lot of COD fans in the Machinima ranks, I don't think anybody would debate me if I said that the thing that defines the series is the gameplay. You guys have like the gold standard, in my opinion, as far as like controls, responsiveness.
Thank you.
What have you done with this? Like, how much has this inherited from the past games? Have you stepped it up in ways that we don't know?
I mean, I'd say the main thing, we were fans, right? And then we came on. The main thing for us was the feel of it too. And 60 frames per second is it's just sort of the thing that we don't mess with. Yeah. We can never, ever, ever drop. So that's the first and foremost. That's our rule. That's the rule we inherited from them, and so everything starts with that.
Yeah, and some of our heavy duty like online murderers, that's make or break. If some other game comes up and it's running at 30, they're like, nah, pass.
Yeah, I think the 60 frames per second is what sells that smooth gameplay. I mean, that's why your controls are so tight. That's what sells everything. And then, moving into different games, we're looking at, other features that we're incorporating, like, the dual scope stuff, and making sure that that's fitting in with that philosophy. And then a game of this scale where the landscape is so massive and epic, you have to make sure that you're maintaining that smooth, buttery smooth gameplay and gun control. Because, like you said, it all comes down to that.
Yeah, so we had to do a lot of optimizing to the engine so that we could, make sure that the graphics are up to the standards, the new audio systems, everything, but still maintain at 60. And there's some games that will say they're at 60 and they're still going to dip, and you're going to feel that dip, and we'll never dip.
Yeah, more importantly than anything, we're always looking at also how can we add to that experience, because being a Call of Duty player, and these guys online can relate, it's all about situational awareness, especially in multiplayer. So we looked at Modern Warfare 3 of like, how can we amp that up? Because players like me, I love hardcore. So when I'm playing hardcore, it's all about the sights, the sounds. You're not relying on HUD. You're not relying on all these things that give you slight advantages. So we were looking at what we could do there in the audio engine with bullet whiz-by. So just by a whiz-by, because when you get hit, you know where it's coming from.
Yeah.
But a whiz-by, you need to also be able to pick out a sniper simply by his missed shots. A run and gunner simply by his bullets hitting your side. So we're doing a lot of stuff in the audio to allow you to do that. We've been tweaking the damage screen, so when you get shot, stuff comes up on screen. We've been cleaning that up a little bit, giving it more direction, moving directional, so you know where you're getting shot from when you do get hit. So with a combination of whiz-bys and tweaks to there, we're always looking at how we can polish it up and tweak it up and add to it to give that core player like more situational awareness, because that's key to me as a hardcore.
Well, while Adrian is like rocking and rolling here, AK-47s, AK-74Us, I could go off.
There we go.
Oh, look at this.
Yeah, this is our new one, our XM25 is a grenade launcher, and what it does is it will laze on a target, say those sandbags there, and then you just will shoot it just above it, and it actually will go about a meter past and explode down. Anything behind it. This is another example where authenticity and realism is really important to us, because this is what they're using now. Some of the Spec Ops guys, and we'll use what was called a 9-bang instead of a flashbang. So we're out there trying to figure out what they're using, what the Spec Ops guys are using. That was fun as hell.
If somebody was behind cover and you couldn't get a grenade to either side of that cover, you could in theory shoot that right over his head.
Yeah, so basically that sight, once you laze a target, it calculates the distance to that target. It will program the actual round, the grenade round, to explode 1 meter past that destination.
Okay.
So it's really cool. I want to make sure to note that everything we're seeing here is single player. All the new stuff, all the stuff. I want to make sure, especially for the machinima audiences, everybody wants to know what's going into multiplayer, how's it going to work in multiplayer. We take everything we put in the game very seriously, and I see, especially moving into Modern Warfare 3, we've been watching all the commentary videos, we've been watching everything to make sure that we're balancing this stuff out. We're losing OMA, we're losing Commando, we're losing all the stuff that we know the guys have been saying, making sure that we're balancing stuff. So I'm not saying what's in multiplayer, we're not announcing new weapons yet, but I want to make sure that they know that we're making sure everything is balanced to make sure that it's fast-paced, infantry-based, gun-on-gun combat. So take this as you will. Single player is all about the authentic and fun aspect of it. Don't let you freak that out to multiplayer, because we got a lot of cool stuff coming there.
Yeah, you took the words out of my mouth a bit. I wanted to stress that we're not breaking down multiplayer stuff here. I'm glad you threw that out there, though, because there is confusion sometimes. But
every demo we do, I see people lining up Twitter like, hey, at 402, like, how's that going to work in multiplayer? That's going to be OP, and it's like, take a step back, because we'll dive into that.
And it's been the same thing. I mean, there's always elements in campaign that don't make it into multi because it would just be game breaking. So you guys are just going to have to glean what you can. Hints and dreams are all you're getting multiplayer-wise from this. You're definitely starting a weapons list. There's some new gadgets. The game looks great, and it's running awesome. So, I mean, your list of multiplayer concepts is starting to come together as viewers. But
Rob brought on a good point though. Is we are listening. I mean, we get tons and tons of stuff, right? And we're bringing back some of the old favorites and getting rid of the ones that don't make it balanced. We are listening.
Yeah.
It's just there's millions of.
This is my favorite time when we start showing stuff, because I love that we showed when the SAS mission that we're bringing back the COD 4 style MP5. I love that we're bringing back like all the old favorites, because that's what Modern Warfare 3 is all about to me. It's about really focusing and polishing up the stuff we loved from Call of Duty 4. I mean, I think of Call of Duty 4 as our base. Let's build up from Call of Duty 4. Take the stuff we love from Modern Warfare 2. Lose the stuff that, went out there too far. Polish it up, make it right. This game, for me, is all about the player. It's all about that hardcore audience and really giving somebody everything. Like, the campaign that we're looking at now, that's great for those cinematic moments. And then Spec Ops, we're blowing that out in a big way. And then multiplayer, which this crowd here, that's what we're jonesing for. That's what we're all about.
Yeah.
One of the other things we spent a lot of time on with this game too is story. And we've, right from the beginning, when the two teams got together and started talking, we hit it off right from the beginning on what the story should be. Like I said, we came at it as fans. They came at it as we made the game, and we were so aligned on what the story should be. And we've been working on that, spending a lot of time on that, getting the dialogue right, and I think that's going to show through a lot on this game as well.
Yeah, I had like sort of a two-part question for both of you guys, and I would say like the general gamer usually, I would say a lot of them don't know where their games come from. It's a title and they're going to play it because it's fun. Maybe it's a franchise they enjoy, but I'd say the average Joe a lot of times doesn't know the guys behind the games. In your case, now that you guys have teamed up with this franchise, I think people are really paying attention with who's making what. So my question to you is, what is it like stepping into this? Because I mean, you're rocking the Sledgehammer Games banner,
right? And
you're joining forces with Infinity Ward,
right?
Who, if I just take a moment and nerd out, Modern Warfare 1 is the point where that's where the franchise like put on a jetpack. Without any jetpacks, but
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah. So what was that like for you guys? Because I think people at this point, it's sort of like a gamer's general hospital, watching the making of Calls of Duty.
Right. Well, look, when we sat down, we, like I said, we're huge fans, love the game, and we were honored to be working with them. And we didn't split the game in half. That's what people are like, what part did you take? What part did we look at it as we're